Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative Podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions of the worlds of pop culture, social media, sports, TV, everything. We talk about it all. Really excited to be joined by an actor. You might have seen him on currently one of my favorite shows, The Chi on Showtime. We're with Brian King. Brian, welcome to Popternative, man.
Hi, man. Thank you so much for having me, Peter.
No problem. First of all, congrats on the success of The Chi. It's amazing. Talk a little bit about, because, I understand you are from Chicago. Talk a little bit about how that opportunity came to be. I mean, it was an audition, but are there any cool stories around how you got landed the gig, or?
Yeah, it actually is a cool story. It was last pilot season, so it was almost actually like a year ago to tomorrow. I think I auditioned. There was a miscommunication with the audition, so I missed it. I was supposed to get an email that I didn't get, and I got a call being like, "Hey, just want to make sure that you're going to be there this morning." And this morning was about an hour after I got that message. So they tried to get me in that day, but I had other auditions that day. So they were like, in this time and in this day and age, we're doing self tapes at home a lot. So they were cool enough, the casting people, to let me just do it from my house. So I was like, cool. And they're like, end of day. And I was like, sometimes end of day means tomorrow morning. So that was like, hey, so like end of day. They're like, yeah. And like by 5 o'clock. So I was like, well, that gives me 4 hours to memorize 8 pages of lines, go do another audition. Cool. Find someone during the day to read the audition with me. So I had a good friend of mine in LA FaceTime me on my computer. And actually right over here behind the computer, I set up the camera. And I was pretty frustrated that I had to like rush and do it that way, because I'm a kind of a nut job about preparation and stuff. That I think my anger of the situation helped me find Detective Wallace in that moment. So I did it, and I was so frustrated halfway through it. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna get it done. Forget it. So then she's like, no, it's good. And I was like, all right. So we did it. I sent it off, and I had to go to a bachelor party in Vegas that week. And I was like, whatever. This is so stupid. I was almost like, I don't even want to I don't get these I usually play more I'll do a lot of comedy or more warm, cuddly dad stuff. And I was just like, whatever, I'm not going to get this. So then a week later, I got a call saying you're on hold they want to see if you're on hold for May through October. And I was like, that's great. I mean, I'm on hold for every job ever. So, and I don't get them. So it's like, whatever. And then I actually was on my way to a friend's mom's funeral. That's not funny, but and I got the call in the car that said, hey, you're going to be Wallace on The Chi. And I was like, pulled the car over, got a little emotional, and then that's a wrap. That was it.
Wow. I mean, people.
No callback.
I've had a few people, other actors and actresses from The Chi on the show. So a lot of my viewers are. They are familiar with The Chi. They know about it, but your character, he's not a nice guy. You're a mean guy.
He is not a nice guy. He has a different way of doing business and being policing, I guess. It's completely different to Armando Riesco's character Cruz. That is. Yeah, he doesn't say very nice things.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy. How is it to kind of play this? Because I'm hoping, you seem like a nice guy. I'm hoping you're a nice guy.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. Because people, a couple times I've been lucky enough to be like, hey, you're the, and I'm like, the first thing you want to be is I am a nice guy. And my sister even was like, she watched it and she's like, okay, so did you apologize to everyone after every line? Because I know you're so and I would be like, and cut, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean any of that, and oh my God, are you okay? But it's I think knowing the arc of the show and our characters, it kind of was episode to episode. So I think you just wanted to play it realistic and make sure villains, the good villains you aren't playing villainy, or they're not playing they're not bad. They're not leaning into it. I think that's it. So I think the more calmly you say things that are terrible things, I think that's more disturbing than really playing into it.
Yeah, like, for example, like, no offense, right? But like, so like Reg is seen as like he's like a bad guy, but I like Reg. I don't like their character at all.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, but I remember my mom telling me as a kid, and like when you knew I wanted to pursue this stuff, and she's like, "You good acting is when like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, you love him, but he's a bad guy."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a good person. And I think that's when a credit to everyone on the show. Even, you know, Stephen Williams, who plays Quentin, is like insanely awesome on the show. And Bart is insanely awesome. And Trice and everyone who's on that side of it in the story is like so good. And I think they bring that intensity because everyone is just playing it for real and not like leaning into the evil or bad stuff that's going on.
No, absolutely. When did you kind of decide that acting was something you wanted to do? Did you study it in school? Like, how did you kind of land your first gig? Talk a little bit about that.
I think as a kid, I knew I wanted to do it. My family is very like the outgoing, funny people, and they loved movies and TV. And I just remember like, you know, my dad being like, "Hey, come here. Michael Keaton's going to play Batman." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "That's awesome. You have no idea how awesome that is." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." So like that kind of childhood. And then I played sports in high school, and it wasn't like cool to, you know, do theater stuff. And then senior year of high school, I got forced into writing this thing, and I wrote it and we performed it, and it was a huge hit. And then I was like, this feels good. And then, you know, I went on to, I was just always that dude in my group of friends that was kind of the idiot who was always like, you know, entertaining or making people laugh. And I enjoyed it. And then I went to school and I wanted to study it. My dad was like, "Hey, if you want to do this, I'm cool with it, but you got to get a degree in something else." So I got a degree in copywriting. So I wrote commercials for a while I pursued acting. And then I was lucky enough, I quit my job 8 years ago to just full-time act now. Mm-hmm. But I wrote commercials and acted for about 8 years, 10 years. My first job was, I think,
Oh, no, continue. Your first job?
The first acting job I think I ever got was my best friend's dad worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers, like one of the big, accounting firms. And he hired me to play Dr. Evil at a convention of his. And they like flew in this makeup person. I was in makeup for like 4 hours in this like kitchen at the Palmer House. And I came out to like 400 people. Dude, I had no idea. I had no business being there. But I used to always do Dr. Evil impersonations around their house when that was popular because that movie was huge. And he had me do it. And to this day, I still like, you know, I tell him, I'm like, "Ray, thank you for giving me my first job." Like, that was amazing.
Probably one of my favorite memes of all time on the internet is it shows like this poster at a department store that shows like a chip and a Coke, and then it says $2.99 making a meal, and then underneath you see the Dr. Evil meal.
Oh, dude, that movie was bigger than, I mean, I don't think people, like, looking back, even Wayne's World, like, those movies were huge. Even, like, you know, Ace Ventura, like, oh, yeah. Now we look back and, you know, but those movies were bigger than anything at the time.
Well, it's crazy because today I'm also taping with, I mean, this is a long time ago compared to, like, Wayne's World and Austin Powers. But do you remember, like, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? Or Adventures in Babysitting?
Adventures in Babysitting, one of my favorite movies.
So we have Keith Coogan's coming on the show tonight.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah, exactly. Like, he was a really big role in those movies.
Yeah, I'm opening for Keith Coogan. That's awesome. I'll put that on my resume. Dude, Adventures in Babysitting, first of all, amazing Chicago movie.
Yeah.
Right? Thor, I'm a huge dork. So, like, Thor, it's Vincent D'Onofrio playing Thor in that movie, which is crazy, man. Oh, I love and Elizabeth Shue, I mean.
Yeah. The Karate Kid, like the original, is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Like have you
seen Cobra Kai or whatever?
Well, the trailers, we're trying to get those guys on. We have I'm talking to Sensei Ron Thomas, who played one of the Cobra Kai guys in the original Karate Kid. He's gonna probably come on the show. But Yeah, no, that stuff. So nostalgia is a big part of it then. And anytime, you have an opportunity, like social media is a really big component of that, right? Because everyone's tweeting and posting things about their favorite movies. Do you kind of, like, what do you think as kind of an actor in kind of the day and age of social media? Like, what do you think about it? It's a double-edged sword. There's some good things and bad things about it. But
I think,
yeah, what do you think about it?
I think, it's something I struggle with right now because I'm old. And I love social media. Like, I'm a huge Instagrammer. Like, I love it. And I creep around on Facebook all day. And we post things for the show, which is more than I usually post on stuff. Social media, like Instagram, at the Son of Bozo. I post weird stuff all day and I find that entertaining. But like,
it's a great handle.
Yeah, thanks. But my dad's nickname growing up was Bozo, and he loves it more. I find it weird because going through this business and stuff that wasn't a part of the equation, and it was just kind of you go in and you do your gig, and then it comes out, and then you keep working hard at that, and now it feels like, there's that's part of the equation, which is weird. So like me not being comfortable with it, I just want to make sure moving forward I don't get penalized for not like being all like looky. I think if you can do it in your voice and you can keep it in your tone of who you are and not be so silly or me about it, I think it's really great and fun. And I think that's how those are the people you follow that are really, like Chris Pratt has an awesome social media where he's doing some funny stuff that's just him. Oh,
absolutely.
And those are that's what I like about it. To me, social media is like a fun hobby.
Yeah, no, for sure. So for people that, follow your work or have seen you around or go on your IMDb, you have had the opportunity to work with a lot of amazing actors and actresses. You were on Boss with Kelsey Grammer. You had the opportunity to work, with Jason Mitchell on The Chi. I mean, talk a little bit about the learning experiences that you've kind of the learning experiences, because I feel like acting, every time you go, even if you've been doing it for like 15, 20 years or like even a 5-year span, you're always going to learn things. It's always going to be a learning experience, right? Because every shoot is going to be different, right? There's a learning experience that comes with it. Is it safe to say that every time you're working on a new project, you're going to be learning a bunch of new things?
Oh, I mean, I think that's the whole point of it. Like, I think that's the reason you do it. And like I learned something from every time I approach this in any way. I'll learn something today from from talking to you that will help me move forward. And I think, anytime you go audition, anytime you're about to go do this craft that we're doing, that we love, that like you have to take something away from it. And the bad things are still good things because you learn from them. So I think that's like really important moving forward, that like you need to do things and get uncomfortable and learn from it. Every time I've worked with anybody, I take something away from it. Jason Mitchell, we got a couple episodes left. Maybe we have scenes together, maybe we don't. But just alone from watching that first episode in that funeral scene, I told him at the premiere, I was like, I just want you to know, man, like that funeral scene made me a better actor. Like, there are things that I took from that I need to like be and learn and like achieve for. I actually got the opportunity this summer to work on a movie that was like this huge movie with all these famous people. I don't know. I have no idea. I just have a little small part in it, but I got to work with this actor, Michael Carney. And he's been in everything, but him and I played detective partners in it. And so I was with him for, a week or so. And I don't think I've ever not talked for like that long a time. He just talked and was so unbelievably the closest thing that I've had to a mentor in this business of just telling me like all these amazing things that he's learned. And I don't know, I was so like blessed that he was like open to doing that for me. But he was literally giving me advice and talking to me and telling me experiences and things. And then there's times I think you have to find it yourself.
Yep. No, for sure. Absolutely. I think we'll wrap up soon, but man, I'm so happy you were able to join me on the show, man.
My God.
This has been awesome. I mean,
thanks.
What are some of the, so we're already like almost 3 months into 2018, and this whole daylight savings time is killing me.
Oh,
it's brutal, man. It's like like I was like texting you, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go today, and then I just realized we moved everything an hour ahead, and I'm just like, man, like my whole afternoon is shot. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I was the same. I was like, oh my God, it's not 10:30.
Yeah,
it's 11:30. Like, shoot.
So, yeah, what we're like, we're in, you know, the I wouldn't say home stretch, but we're getting into 2018. What are some of the goals for Brian King in 2018?
Oh wow. I mean, I have goals every year going into it, so I think I have like little goals of this or that. Like, I want to get better at this, and I want to get better at that. I mean, I think that's always going to be the goal for me. So I think, you know, I want to see, you know, I'm one of those, if I eat, I get more hungry. So like in life and in like my career. But
I love that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And my friends will, and then there's sweating involved. But I think it's just, you know, I've got this movie I told you about coming out later this year, and this show right now, and you just want to continue to build, you know. Mm-hmm. What I realize is that the more you get in this business, the harder you have to work, and the more you have to like keep it and hold on to it. So I'm so blown away at what the Shy has done, and how important it is, and the expectations I think we had for it, and how it's resonating with people is so great. And I think as an artist or creative person, it's so hard to make something and have it land where you want it to. So, you know, if that can continue to go, and then, you know, there's season 2 of The Shy, and, you know, just to continue to work and get better. Well, is that a lame? Yeah, that's
no. That was good. Yeah, okay. Your food hungry thing was hilarious. I don't know, man. Have you ever done stand-up comedy? I feel like you'd be pretty good at that.
No, I haven't. I've told. I mean, no. I'm just. Dude,
no.
No, man. I mean, I would love to, but like, I don't think there's enough bourbon on earth for that. You know.
So where for the social media that you have, like, where can people follow you on it? Because I don't think you're on Twitter.
No. But I did say in my post today that I will be live twerking tonight during the show.
Twerking?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, the son of Bozo.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
my dog has a Instagram account, and
awesome.
He has 163,000 followers.
All right, dude, that's just hurtful. Like, dude, I'm trying to crack 754 tomorrow.
He just goes up followers all the time. He's like a 5-pound little dog. He's so cute. And
you just made me feel terrible about my Instagram account. I was all excited, and now your dog. Oh my God!
I know.
This is why I hate social media.
Well, awesome. Brian, it's a pleasure, man. Like, well, hopefully we can have you on again soon, man. This was awesome.
Yeah, dude, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popturnative. You can catch previous episodes Popturnative YouTube for the video versions of the episodes, and you can go to iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're there for the audio. Until next time.
Watch Shy tonight, 9 o'clock. Sorry, Shy's on tonight. Episode 9, 9 o'clock.
No problem.
Thank you for tuning in to Popturnative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popturnative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popturnative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.